Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
Weird.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
Hey! You little cunt.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
Yeah.
The explosion of
Oh my god, you too?
is blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world.
Isn't this a little over the top?
At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break you loose.
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
this?
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back. I was, before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out. Not today.
Beep.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor above all else. I'm sad to hear that. The girl was playing some dangerous games, but even with what she did to me, I wouldn't have wished that upon her. She had some pretty messed up people after her. She's going to come out of that meat grinder a different person, if she comes out at all. But Klausia couldn't have known I was here. How did you?
Titus and his boys, man. He told us you were on the coast.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like,
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
how the fuck do the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
My headphones died. What did I miss? I died. I let a chinchilla out. Now I'm talking to her.
That did make her forgive them a little.
What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time. Wow, now I'm curious. Please, explain. No, not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. The fuck do elevators have to do with anything? Not particularly. I'm not really into old shit for old shit's sake.
God damn it!
So you know she's not an antiques enthusiast. Not my jurisdiction, man. But it also...
Don't know it, but also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival. The view's pretty bomb too. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate it, okay?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, I'm listening. And? Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break, sure don't.
A breech loader?
No. Yeah, evidence. So.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
That's your prerogative. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
Yeah, good.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
I woke up.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
You won't get to. Your dirty little tricks won't work with me.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Yes, you're very cute.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Not gonna say anything.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Do it! Do it! Nice!
She pulls the trigger
I win.
before you finish your sentence. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
We are cops. Everything is our fault if we let it be. We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
She did a whole Harry Du Bois there. It's bad for your health.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out. You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag so the rats don't get to her.
Rats will eat through a sleeping bag, you idiot.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
I've seen many pigs eat many men.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
Uh-oh. Zapata, are you getting upset? You upset?
She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape, short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. She is referring to betraying a previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense? The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
Doesn't look like she did it.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed. Too bad we didn't really get to hear her side of the story.
Well, I mean, Kim, you should have said something.
This
fault,
whole
really.
thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
Case closed, tidy.
No, it's dirty.
Nope.
Kim's posture is unusually rigid. He's used to this sort of thing, but he's not particularly happy about being used to it.
Could have been Titus. Then again, maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
You were screaming, do it. No, I said, I don't care. Like, my character said, I don't care. She tried to torture me, so I really don't care. She deserved it. One last criminal in the streets. You were screaming, do it. Take the tie. What tie? What tie? The tie that I might already have already, because I'm so good at this game. I have two ties. I'm the tie master. Tai Chi. Tai Bo. I got all the ties. I don't know what you're talking about. Got all the ties. Yeah, he is responsible. We already established this. I'm an alcoholic. I have no walk back to her. You should have taken your ugly tie on and walk back to her. Okay. Let's see what that does for me. Look, I saved right before I confronted her. So I said I'm definitely going to do the funniest thing here and see what happens. So sober 6 days. Yeah, that's almost like a week at this point.
The plain red
That doesn't tell me nothing. I'm out of here. I can always reload it. Is tie on? I think I put it on. Yeah, I got the silly necktie on. I can always come back and do it again. They missed everything, okay? The thing I'm most upset about missing is not being able to shoot that child. Plus, are you going to tell the guy wearing a frog hat, glasses he can't see out of, armored gauntlets, and rubber boots that's carrying a sword and think his necktie talked to him? You're going to blame that guy? It's definitely Kim's fault. He's my guardian. I'm incompetent. That's why I wear a frog on my head. I think you're taking the cop role play a bit too seriously. I guess I just can't war. Teleportation is disabled. I don't have the helmet though.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet,
Yeah, I just saw a
Still
lady
running
blow her
around.
brains out.
like some kind
What do you
of
think about that?
cross-country law official. Aye, but don't let it grow too much.
Just the cross. Alright, I'm walking over there. Just seemed like a good idea.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning. Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right? Shut up. You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
Loincloth? Is that a racial term?
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
So I know what loincloth means, but like
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
no, I thought in game like it might be racist.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
The lieutenant
Like
is
I know a
genuinely
loincloth
worried
is
for
someone who
his
wears
life.
clothes
You
on their
should
loins.
consult him before getting in there.
The Mercenary Tribunal.
Oops. Just making sure you're under there, B. You were so disguised I couldn't see you.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
He doesn't want to, but he must.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
Or I don't know, there's a lot of weird slurs in the game.
A sound strategy.
Or
He's the leader.
what if we walk away?
No, we have to step in. This is not going to end well if we don't.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
I think he's calmed down a bit. No, he didn't. He's about to open fire. You can't think that way now.
Pig fuck!
Ah, yeah. Welcome to the fucking party. You're probably gonna get killed too. I don't give a shit if you're cops.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument. Even if it comes to a fight, it's always a good idea to drag it out. Get under his skin. Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that. Please.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer, Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
Okay.
The gunner, the raddest, the killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Cloven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21.
You're a tit-sucking pig. I'm gonna show you, killer.
What are we waiting for? Let's blow that pig fucking mouth off his face.
Lance Corporal, just fucking shut up and wait for your order.
He is not used to commanding or leading. He feels uncomfortable. He'd rather shoot to kill.
It all comes down to this. The ultimate political bro. At the end of it, it's just your debate skills, you know? All the theory you read through the game comes to this.
Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I don't fucking act so well. Laylee had a hard-on for making faces for you natives. Fucking food aid shit. That shit is done now. Trigger time. Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click softly. Click, click, click. The realization comes to you like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Cortiner. The dead man's name is Elise Cortiner. He's brothers with the deceased. No, probably foster brothers. Elise was put into a foster home, remember?
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer, you're all sentenced to death by lead.
He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck.
Beaten by a foster parent or someone on the farm.
Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man.
He eating the grass. He left the grass behind.
It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down plots. Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt or 100 of them. Rude here.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to make a video.
In your shit pipes, right in the fucking...
Can you send me just like the clip of the part where he talks about short stack goblins?
He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts like that. When he gets bored, Laylee knew how to command.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
What are you doing? You find another piece of grass?
Oh yeah, he would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. But that didn't happen, because Hayseed Bill and Kipty the Kipt here fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after. And you fucks did nothing.
If you just type in Vosh Goblins on Twitter, somebody's got to have it clipped. Where they're taking that out of context, saying, that's not child porn, it's goblin porn.
Listen, man.
I've seen it clipped a few
We
times.
told you we... Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck. You'll... Fuck do you mean? Talker.
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah. He liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets. Squeeze a bit of kip-tass here and there. Great fucking idea that turned out to be. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for show. But me, I'm not a big fan of public affairs, Clay Monkey. I'll gun every one of you down for what you did.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Find his killer. Cop, his killer stands right there, shitting his pants, and you're standing in the way, protecting them. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here. Today.
Big talk, but you got him to admit he's a bad leader. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
Yes. So what? Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking government-ordained super soldier.
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking chat!
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal. You think I care what that company cunt thinks? She's gone, you stupid fuck. Sailed off 5 minutes ago.
As you look to the bay, you see a small green sail.
Stay cool! Don't do anything stupid! The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
I know that, like, all these pedos are like, "You're one of us." And he's like, "No, I just want to fuck goblins."
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
Can you imagine if it actually just was a folder of lolly? Like, that would be like if it actually was like undeniable lolicon, it would be like huge. Like, it would be one of those things that like all the channels like Sunny V2 and like the Right Opinion and all those people who cover all the drama stories, they would be doing on videos on this shit for years. And they'd be like, you know, it was kind of obvious. And they'd look back at these clips now and being like, actually, people said they were out of context, but he actually isn't.
They're afraid, all of them, trembling reeds in the wind. They'll run, scatter soon, one by one. No, the rest will stay. They will hold their ground, even if it means dying here.
Yeah? Who did that? How fucking convenient. One of us? You saying we? What if I just shot one of your pals here? Right? How about the kid? Go ahead. Tell me we fucking killed our own colonel one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who...
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her. Your mind grinds to a halt. All you can see is the revolver in the man's armored hand, swaying, pointed at her. You move your mouth like a fish gasping for... He pulls the trigger. A plume of smoke erupts from the muzzle. The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Fuck this.
There's a coarse shuffle against something. Is it a gun?
Gene! Cancel Lizzie! Now!
He wants you to open fire on the mercenaries before he does. He's waiting for you and your partner to be the shield. International something. international law.
Look around, you livestock. We're about to butcher the lot of you. Where?
There will be ramifications, but there don't need to be. Let's go inside and discuss what our investigation has uncovered. We have important...
We're not fucking coming anywhere, Sailite.
It's a miracle no one got shot this time. Stop attempting to use your head. It won't work. A small explosion expels the bullet from the chamber. With a puff of smoke, it hits the man square in the chest, producing a soft clicking sound in the armor. Like dice rolling, the kinetic energy of the 9mm front-loaded bullet is distributed evenly across the chest piece and into his hands.
Go ahead. Give it another try.
Okay.
Another soft explosion, like a firecracker, goes off in your hand. Another soft click from the gleaming white cuirass.
They teach you to shoot the chest in Copland? Stupid fuck. Kill him.
To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate. A low shot rings. You feel a tapping like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shot evenly from plate to plate. You got hit. The armor took most of it, but still your ribcage burns. Feels like blood is slowly seeping into your lungs.
I've never seen any make the tribunal up so hard.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from the balls. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you. Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his helmet are not human. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire, and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background, you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. It's Titus with a splat like meat. You hear bullets rip into him. His voice, still giving orders, grows fainter. A gurgle.
Damn, Titus.
He's not gonna make it. Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And the cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone, when suddenly you sense something behind him, a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling on yours in the course of the motion. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone. And so is
I made
Kim
great arguments about
and
child
the
labor
whole world.
throughout this game. I saved a kid from it.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door. Brother, you already were a ghost. Up there screaming along with all of them, scaring each other, haunting each other. It's the living who are ghosts.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his warm sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a caprice Kinema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
Did I win?
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain. It's nothing. You're alive. That's what matters.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse, and drink water. Yes, the joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
What jacket?
Dramamine. Then
I
it's
was
not
sober.
that
What have
bad.
you done?
Neither surgical nor organ.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying. Cops like it. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. That's right. Ouch, indeed. What happened? You shot the major, and successfully, a firefight ensued. As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He hit the cuirass. I heard it go off. I was looking for a clear line of sight to him. I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left. Yes, you were bleeding out. I think you said something about
Only
your
we
wife,
couldn't get Sydney the
and
skull
you
in there
warned
too.
me. I was able to disarm the Major before he got a jump on me.
Thank you. Although
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though, and that's what happened. He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured.
there is unveiled anger in his voice.
We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage. Yes. 5. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Titus. And Elizabeth, too. Elizabeth Beaufort was her name. The gardener.
Buffart,
No, she bled out before Everard's surgeon could help her. Everard sent his personal doctor, but
If I would have
costly
presented
was
the
for the
theory
union.
better to their
She
leader,
never had a chance. She should not have been there in the first place.
it
There
was
was
all
no
my.
way to
I didn't read
convince
enough theory.
Stop this line of thought now. You're too broken for ghosts.
All. Oh no, officer. It's pretty bad.
Nah, that's
7
fine.
people are dead.
Yeah, but nobody cares about this part of town.
+1. Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse.
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. The bruising in your shoulder is negligible. The armor took the brunt of the fire. We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is. Not very. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't.
You can only solve. So you can only solve the case if your theory is good enough. You think I should have taken off the Leviathan glasses that make me see worse before trying to shoot somebody?
What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to catch everything.
He's wrong.
Okay. I don't know. That's been there for years. Yes, God cursed the footprints, not solving the case for us. Au diable. It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find one that makes the bullet useless. We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Ravachol is full.
It was worth.
But they seemed so mysterious.
No need to be melodramatic.
My first chinchilla was called Pancake, and when people would say, "Why do you call him Pancake?" I would say, "Because he's a short stack."
He does not know what to reply. Looks out of the window, then back at you. It's morning outside, you think. He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Solving crimes is so easy.
Really? Because to me, it seems solving crimes is hard.
No, I just listen to the voices in my head. They
He
tell me who did
sounds
it.
surprisingly weary. That concussion must be making him dizzy.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good. Where do you want to limp to?
Ballistics in Clausia's room. Do it properly. Also, it's just close enough to enjoy the walk.
Why not?
The-
Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
The fan is spinning.
Be using the sword like a cool cane.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. Not this again. You pull your weight, okay? Let's go.
Who thinks he's Morgoth? What is that supposed to mean? I can't go through Kim's door. I have to go all the way around. Okay, put my Investa spectacles on. Oh man, they literally say sea. I can't do it. They literally say sea monster soul on it. I can't do it. You don't get the Kami item until this late. It's not a bad jacket.
This hat is so soft. Kraz ma glory to the revolution.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the frog hat, of course. My lucky hat. That frog hat is really like, it's like a cheat code, you know? Like, it's not even fair. Stats are insane. Oh, Elden Ring. I'll play that. I'll play Dark Souls next, since I'm a master of video games now.
Light from the desk.
It's like, can't be much
reflects
harder than
off
this, right?
The glass in an untarnished golden halo. The glass is pristine and utterly silent.
We need to do ballistics on this. Understand where the shot came from, once and for all.
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired.
Okay. Oh, look, we got. We're doing trigonometry. We gotta find out. We gotta measure the fucking right triangle. You know, this is the theorem. This is how archers figured out how they could shoot and how fast they could
The
shoot.
man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. Ruby ruled this out vehemently. The shot would have been heard from downstairs, where no one heard it. The likelihood of A prime has fallen drastically. You may be looking for a sniper. The shot had to come from a greater distance, beyond A prime. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance.
Oh, that's cool as
A
fuck.
skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. This would explain why no one heard the gunshot. The bullet came from far away. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 8B and 33A. The angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable, but it is a possibility. It's not the roof, and had it come from the coast, you would have probably stumbled upon it while you were running around over there. This leaves the island in the bay.
It's not impossible. There is a narrow opening between the commercial area and the collapsed tenement north of it. It's not impossible. There is a narrow opening between the commercial area and the collapsed tenement north of it. So it is.
For a second he seems tired. He is trying to justify it to himself. The lead is flimsy. You might as well go around Martinez looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there?
No, you're right. We have to go to the island. Pardon me, the concussion. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Oh, I thought I was looking at the welcome mat. I was like, cool, I can look at the welcome mat. That's epic. No, not the window. Like when I gave Zapata that cookie. Okay. Someone was very cringe out here, huh?
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday. And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? You could buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there, you know, just to see what happens. See if it's flammable. It's better that way. Safer.
I don't got sickies. I don't got no sickies. Hey Kim, you got a smoke?
Yes?
Yeah, I mean, if I had the ciggies.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Can I say I didn't just fall out of a coconut tree?
Look at you. You can barely walk. Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's not...
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. Better than being dead. Hi. I guess you are. Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. Be sad to lose the first one.
That's cool. You boasting your bacterial infection like that.
No voice?
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me.
I'm never
We
drunk.
died there during the landing, you know.
I am the
My
sober
mother
king.
told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. The twins.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be all right?
They're not going to tell us
Be
anything.
my guest. They have a strange way of talking.
Kim,
See if you
they're
can get
morons.
anything
Her kids
useful
are
out of them.
morons.
I seldom do. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just feel...
Do you think people will like my chinchilla video? They're probably going to hate it like all the other chinchilla
The
videos.
scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
And that iron. That's nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Gather the sticks for the fire and bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
I don't know what those are. They're nice. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
These kids are drunk.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes. No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. You shouldn't go.
Good. I'm their new stepdad. Better get used to him.
Because he doesn't want to be found. Smoke traces.
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled, we shouldn't be there.
Hey, your kids also used to be drunk on that island like you kids were, huh? You've been getting into your dad's beer and getting drunk?
Our father killed himself.
That's cool. I know somebody who did that just the other day.
Don't say that, he didn't.
A dull pain flashes through
It's
your
okay to
mind.
say, I am going to blow my brains out. I'm going to close one final and then blam.
Shut up. Don't punch your brother, please. Don't start crying. We still need to ask more questions.
I'm not gonna start crying.
She read it.
Doesn't even have anything to do with this, you. Father isn't the fire guy.
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make sense.
It's so funny. Oh my god. Oh. Are you a rock? Are you a rock? I can barely even see him because his ears are in nap mode. Can you imagine fucking saying that to him? His dad died.
Lights? Fire guy? We should check up on that island. And you need to keep your dark humor in check in front of children, okay?
I'm not telling you twice.
I need a second. Oh. Okay, sorry. That was just probably the funniest thing that I've ever seen in a video game. Especially, like, considering the context of everything.
Be careful out there. Sea's calm as death, but still.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the boat's belly is a shiny yellow color, industrial paint over fresh tar. You see it reflect off the water, along with the factory number, A72. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your account? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this. The skiff, once you get in, have you made all? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine. Let's blast SAD FM then.
SAD FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Is a radio on the boat? What? Or is it my boombox? Yeah, it is my boombox. What a fucking epic way to roll up on.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
This is what's going to get me claimed, right? There's no way this is not going to hit me with a copyright.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
BG, where did you get that? It's a piece of paper, isn't it? That's not food, you know.
It will last
Well, I mean, I set it for streamer mode, but like it still gives me copyright claims. They're just not strikes.
Want to be free, Disco.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Let's go.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Whatever you say, nerd. Nerd. Poindexter.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea. The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away, 102, 105. On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work. Of great importance to the few who attend.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting up his right leg and into his groin.
It is. Is that why we are stopping?
The lieutenant nods in silence. Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute col de Mamadakwa. We are way out now. Way out in the west. No, it's just your imagination. You can't hear such things. A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building. The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers. A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
Oh, we're doing this again?
Yes?
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
No. An upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics with blood dripping down your thigh.
That's just a coincidence, officer. The Comel was founded in 32. No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Are you fucking kidding me? This island isn't coded very well, I guess. For the consoles. But, you know, can't blame them. You know, prioritize your work, hit those deadlines. Obviously, most people won't get here who play the game, so who cares? You know, because most people don't. They're gonna play it for a little bit and be like, nah, I'm good. Are we serious now? We serious with this game? Oh my god.
Books and magazines, most are soft covers. Serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you can tell. Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say. The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eyesight.
Why are you constantly changing clothes and carrying around all those clothes in a stick and bundle? I need the perfect outfit when I have to debate objects, Kim. There it is. I'm a high concept kind of guy. Is that the only thing I probably am still wearing the other thing. That gives me composure, huh? Conceptualization, I mean, I'm the best.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique.
I'm just a high concept kind of guy.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory.
Click him, deranged commie
Ooh,
ranting.
yeah. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting. An old lieutenant puts it.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
That is his idea of a joke. A small agony. Minuscule bones may have fractured, but it proves the point. He nods approvingly. He even smiles.
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly with a faint howl. You see a small metal door nested.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
Your fucking neck, bro.
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open it Big Brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
All right, I retract my statement. It was naive. Fuel, generator, console. That's our best chance.
Kim's telling me what to do in riddles now. Can I take a nap?
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there.
I got a nap.
You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep.
Can I not go through this door now? I have to go that way. So he did it himself. I didn't have to solve his riddle, I assume. That's what's going on. The chain. What chain? That chain? Okay.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking. But you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go. Let her go. This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back. Win her back. How does that fit in here? And what is the Holy Suzerain doing here anyway?
I'm going to Morova, to live there in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes, not as often as I used to.
Yeah.
So much time has passed.
Yeah.
More than it seems here.
Yeah.
This is everything I always warned you about.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. She sighs and looks over her shoulder. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder.
Anyway. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever.
I understand.
That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try it now. With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her, her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back.
Uh-oh.
Feels like soft fuzz, a bird covered in down feathers, brushing against your broken capillaries. The world's most precious material, reserved for those she lets close enough to feel it. Her chest rising like a pillow, warm exhalations against the side of your mouth, her tender soul moving through her lungs. Hidden, distant, kept safe from you. The delicate wreath on her forehead pressing into your temple. The silver is cold from the spring evening air. Her hand does not return the grip. Her body is rigid. A current of unease courses through it. Distrust. For you, nothing, just pillows against you. Unresponsive, but for the taste of apricots. Apricot-scented chewing gum. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be horror. I should not have suggested it, and you should not have listened to me. The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face.
Yeah.
And brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. You know what this means. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something.
No, this has to end. Do the last one. More questions. Ask more.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless found rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say.
Harry, I don't want things. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless fallen rider back then. That is very contested by modern historians. Very contested. Plus, you're only saying this because things didn't work out between us. I have to go to the aerodrome now. I don't have time to defend myself from these accusations.
Stop making her angry. She won't start loving you again if you call her a mass murderer. Seriously.
I mean, suggestion, you didn't fail me before. I'm certainly going to go with you again, because it's...
You were very bad to me too. We've talked about it like 7 million times now. I don't want to do that anymore. It's not. But I don't know why I said but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything. Oh yes, she'll come around now. I made her love you again, Harry. Are you stupid? She's about to say something. Here it comes. She's starting to love him again. Her innocence, Dolores Day, fiddles with the handle of her airport bag. She has a pained expression on her face. It's agonizing. See? She isn't saying anything. I don't understand. It was, she herself said.
We were bad for each other, okay? I was bad for you. Can you not see? I'm bad. I had to stop. I couldn't just turn into a bad person. You will get better. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad.
It's okay. Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. No, Harry. We can't. We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up. By that, not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you.
Sometimes you can be very safe, but you know what I mean. What do you mean, stop saying things? It's not about some tie, Harry. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions. This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. It's not just the lists or trees.
I'm going to win her back
or
with
whatever.
theory and debate and logic.
Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long. Until you start giving your thoughts names and talking to things. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. Oh, Harry, you shouldn't have done that. Call me like that.
You ruined it. There was still a chance. You should have waited longer. She would have called you instead.
They shouldn't have. They really shouldn't. I was in Morova already. Safe. In the warmth of the night. Wrapped in my future love. There, I think of you less and less. Whole weeks go by without me remembering you. Months already. Soon it will be years without the hurt. I sit there in Morova, in the holy gratitude of my bliss. I put my hand on my belly and smile.
The air gets cold around you. She looks down on her stomach, then up at you. Her eyes are full of tremendous distance and mystery. Black-eyed dogs wander the alleys. Apple trees hang their bony limbs low over the patchwork of roofs. Red and black. Revachol West, the evening sun. She's left and bloomed, far away from us, our vast soul. It's Dora. That's what the voice said on the phone. Dubois, yes. Dora Dubois.
Why what? Oh no, no. We're not doing that again. No, Harry. Not married. We were engaged then, living in a little house on the outskirts of central Jamrock, past the lake that formed when a mainline pipe burst in the early 20s. At the end of a street called Voyager Road. It was 1,000,000 years ago, Harry. No, it was 100 million years ago. We were so young then. I loved you more than you will ever know. I loved you more than anyone has ever loved anyone. But it is gone now. Nothing came of it. No children. Nothing built. We live in the coldest of all possible worlds, Harry. Orbiting the most distant star. It is agony, sheer agony. How bad I have to go to the aerodrome. No, Harry. No human being in the history of the world has ever had to go to the aerodrome as much as I have to go there now. I have to go there even more than I used to love you. And that's saying something. It doesn't look like it did, Harry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have wrote you any letters. I was too young then. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
No, that would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laugh? No, you don't. You're just being a martyr. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. Yes, I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see?
What?
I'm already in Morova by now.
What?
Who knows how long ago this happened?
What?
A year? 2? 5 years ago?
My mind's blown.
Right here,
A
tomorrow
dream?
night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time, so long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death
Thank
or
fuck
war
none of it happened.
or
I
child
mean,
molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
oh boy, that chinchilla is so cute over there. His ears are deployed in nap mode. Can we were watching me
You're
sleep
up
that whole
quick.
time?
How was your sleep?
That's
Are you
not
sure
this
you're okay?
fucking case.
You thrashed around and you bolted up, half covered in blood.
Spit out the blood and
He's
get
still
back to
working.
work. I didn't dream about anything. Don't ask any questions.
Green paint flicks off the monitor. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here. Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
I remember when I said I don't think Vosh hurt me as bad as that Hassan video.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as
We need to restore power before using it. We should look around outside.
the boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
The consul stands by.
No, Kim, you don't understand.
Urgence,
We're not
ouvert,
leaving this
reads
island.
a dial key. Allumé reads and nothing happens. The dial slides under the glass silently. You make out defunct stations on the UK. An idea lights up in your head.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work. No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient, incompatible.
Alright, Kim, I gotta go drown myself, okay? My dream told me to. And now it's gotta happen. I said I was gonna shit myself, and I did. Alright, here we go. Late gamer.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in. Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
Betrayal?
Maybe you know it's going to hurt. Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth. Oh, fuck, yes. Go there in your head. It's been days since you thought about her.
Ugh.
A week. No, we're not starting with that. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine islets and posts, like step.
Alright, Kim, you climb the chain. I'm gonna swim and find the bottom of it. Here I go. Come on. Come on, let's go into the water. Here we go. Jump in the water. Come on, jump in the water. This game took all my agency from me. It's like Death Stranding at the end. Maybe we go further. We'll just have a nice walk. The trail smells like gunpowder and fire. I don't even know where I am anymore. Go this way? Can I go back to telling kids how I'm going to blow my brains out and not do this ex-wife shit? I do want to hear everything he says and how pathetic he is, though, even though it's really uncomfortable. Gonna make me equip the gas can, isn't it? I just can't walk up to it and just have the item. Because nothing can be simple, huh?
This old cylindrical
Thank
generator.
God.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old wall.
Skip the sniper nest.
Settling down.
That should do it.
I didn't see it. I can't navigate that well, so I'm going to assume that's what happened. I don't know.
dim golden glow animates the console, faint like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
I have a quick
A
save. I
sudden
can go
wave
back
of
to this no
anxiety
pretense.
makes your skin crawl.
After you. Don't be. I have a gun. Then it's extra good that mine is not. I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises.
We've got to have money. Like this way? Can I go down this way? Go this way? Go over here? I can only go this way. Okay, here I go. Outside again.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
That embrasure, what can you see through it?
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window, quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting.
I see. I would like this if there was no theory and it was just this
Look
stuff.
familiar.
That would be better. Because theory is gay.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B. The red chimney and collapsed back of the four-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
It's
Master
only
Cop.
moderately effective cop work until we have the weapon. It will not be, how do you say it, booyah, until we have that. Where?
Don't you need to sleep? Not yet.
I have always assumed.
He feels
we should move now.
Yeah, I'm in the US, but we coordinate globally, so I sleep at different times. Yeah, we like don't stream at optimal times for the US either. It's too inconvenient for everyone else.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans.
Yeah, I was about to
stock
say
of
you're
his rifle. He gathers a
probably
big
like
ball
at
of
midnight
spit
where you are.
in his mouth. Then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a Triangong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct.
Do you think Egypt will go to war
rifle
for Rafah? No.
That name springs to mind.
But I think Egypt has every right to be wary and build up to the border, considering the military history between Egypt and Israel and the nature of these people doing surprise attacks on each other. Like saying, no, we're not going to fight. And then they're in the, opening themselves up for nuclear strikes, putting their entire army on the other side of the river and stuff. So I don't think they will.
A Samaran rifle.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen. It's like, if a war breaks out in any of these regions, it's not exactly shocking at this point. I just don't think the odds are likely.
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune. Military aid. You heard me.
Egypt is loaded with chemical weapons, right? I wouldn't be surprised. Like, NATO still has a fucking, big chemical arsenal. Mostly in mustard gas. So, I wouldn't be surprised. Egypt's right there next to Libya. Wouldn't be surprised with what's going on there. But I don't know. Chemical weapons are pretty easy to make. So Egypt is also a top 10 arms buyer from the US. So that might come with restrictions on what weapons they manufacture in their country.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
The words, "I am an enemy commander," sound cold as iron from your lungs.
Hell yeah.
The old man still hugs his gun.
James says Egypt will win versus Israel. Sisi's a pussy.
And what rank would that be, dog? A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Like when Sudan kicked off, everyone was saying Egypt will go in. Egypt will help settle this. They have pilots there. Egypt will come in and mediate. Egypt hasn't done shit.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand, frame stopped and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
The right type and the right calibre.
CC is also unpopular among the Egyptian elite. I don't think a war with Rafa would make him any more popular. The thing is like being in a military dictatorship role like he has, like all that needs to happen is a mutiny with the commander under him, really. Like you see it happen all the time on, in the movies with the
He's
ships.
liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
If some organization put pressure on the trade by Egypt, then you would see probably them do something about it. If they were going towards the canal and stuff, like the Houthis pressured it somehow.
No reply. His leg twitches strangely, like a puppet on a string. There's something off. You feel it. This was the right question. You need to contextualize it for him first. Turn the key elsewhere. The lock is here.
Real music. Real brilliant cult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
You need to address that remark.
The job of a shitlicker. It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess. Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it. Talk to her. God, shithouse. Should have taken it down like they did
Is
in
this a good
Grad.
game or tanky?
Dismantled it for fun.
You can be.
All
You can
around
be
you,
both
the air
communist or
slowly
fascist. It
circulates the
doesn't matter.
Islam, carrying little swallows
I mean,
and
it does
black-beaked
matter to the
seagulls
game, I
in
guess.
its slow drift. They all, every one of them, every bird, mammal, and crustacea, keep their distance. Embers going out.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient.
Well, I mean, the guy
and
won an award and
consigned to
thanked
emergency
Mark.
defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I
See you
returned
later.
here on May 14th, the commune had fallen, still armed and ideologically trained. I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in
That's right.
Revachol.
Where were the good guys?
Murderers. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste Insolent. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
I don't think you did.
Crazy ass commie.
You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sport. It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights, ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across. Wait, how did he get down there?
I didn't have to. Came in through the storm drains.
Storm drains?
There used to be a system that connected the bunkers, tunnels and such, under the church and everywhere. Most of them are gone now, collapsed, just bricks. All the old infrastructure has the propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. And a lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. Well done. I won't explain it. 43 years and 10 months. It's inhuman. It's sick. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't. He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Women are more susceptible to bourgeois morals. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done?
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams. It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
Fucking whack job.
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
He looks at you, his face parched from
Time
the
for
sun.
Blano? Blammo? Gonna kill
There's
you?
nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. What have I used it for?
Here we go.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for.
Uh-huh.
I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
Oh, come on, Kim.
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
Oh my god, you're so cringe.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like them. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
No, I'm just gonna ask him.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die.
I'm ready to kill.
I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Yeah, that's a good insult, actually.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? 4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the...
Murder.
Like a marionette on some invisible string. This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more. Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony. And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Dras.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is Sensorique. The model is Cordobe, and the size is 43. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. You've almost got him. Just the last little push.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
A drop of blood tear into him again. Pilot.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
Is what you plan to say. Before you can get past, you're under.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man, you startled him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of? For a 60-year-old man, he's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that
ain't.
Definitely still have the composure shit on, right? Oh no, that's conceptualization. I'm so stupid. Composure. 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 I'm feeling so composed. I'm like so composed right now. Like so composed right now. Hell yeah. Oh, that took that one off. I'd rather have this then. They do the same thing. Oh, okay. The commie one's better. I guess I'll wear it. Composure.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, perhaps, in summary...
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it, something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
All of his motivations. Oh
Maybe
no.
there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
Epic.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then...
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
What's up?
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Take long, deep breaths. Slow down your pulse. Don't move yet, and when you do, be light as a feather. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it. Your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Careful, it may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell like summer burning. Apricot blossoms, white blossoms erupting, a sensation like cold hands on your face.
Tell me what it's like for you. Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist, shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms, all speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache. Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? Yes, no one detected me for such a long time. For thousands of years, I dithered out of sight. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came. No, there is one.
So I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. I'll just talk to you again tomorrow. I'm not even gonna save. I just saved before I talk to you. I can't get into the philosophy with a fucking insect right now. Okay, good. Hopefully there's only like a little bit left and I can do it before stream tomorrow. Well, in a few hours. Well, it's more tomorrow. So it'll be after midnight.